All right, guys, welcome to another episode of I Made That. I'm so excited. This person today, my guest, this has been a long time coming. I've been watching his work online diligently. We haven't had timelines match up, and we're finally at a point where we can sit and chat. So he is a portrait artist, but definitely has a very unique flair to things. I'll let him dive a little bit more into that, and we're even going to get to see some of his work live in action today. But we're going to talk about his process, what inspires him, and then do a little walkthrough of his most recent show. So we're getting a sneak peek. So please welcome my guest, Jonathan Downing.
Hi, how are you guys?
Yay.
Um,
So
yeah,
I always like to start out. Tell me what you do in your own words.
yeah. So I kind of always refer to my paintings as multiplicity portraiture. It's based in photo montage and obviously it mixes oil painting. My goal is to explore themes like glory and success and the juxtaposition of public image and internal truth. The main crux of my work is based on creating portraits that really try to encapsulate the subject and the person that I'm depicting. I feel like it's like almost kind of impossible to fully capture someone in just one image. So that's where like the montage and the multiplicity comes in. I'm really trying to make portraits that show who the subject is and give the viewers their backstory and then a story to relate to and make them feel something and have an experience.
Yeah, I think you just verbalized that so well because even obviously I know what your work looks like, and I think once we go and do a walkthrough, it's going to really click for people. But the idea of multiplicity and even just explaining the stories, because you've done a lot of really well-known figures, but I think one of my favorite pieces of your work was the portrait that you did of your parents for their, was it 40th, 50th anniversary? It was some crazy number,
Uh,
right?
no, so they've been together, or they've known each other for like over 25 years. They've been together for, I think now it's 10. Um,
Okay.
and it was like it was either their second or third anniversary. So they haven't actually been married for all that long. It's my mom and my stepfather, but their love story is pretty cute. And
Yes.
it's very long and they've known each other for pretty much my whole life.
My gosh. Well, I don't know where I got 25 years from. They feel like they have been together for that long. Like, I guess maybe that's like what I read from the actual painting. But clearly, I don't know them. These are people that a lot of people wouldn't know, and you still get that emotional attachment to your work through that. So I think that that's really, really fascinating. What are some of the standout portraits that you've done that people would maybe like most recognize as far as public figures?
Yeah, so I would say that probably the first one was I did a group show in Tokyo in 2023, and I painted Billie Eilish. And that piece was really interesting. It's titled "Moving On," and it's kind of about like moving on from past relationships and past eras in your life. And she's got like a single like makeup tear um, from like running from her eye, and then she's wearing like these championship rings, and it's kind of like symbolic of you know can you balance success and successful relationships and a successful personal life? So yeah, I would say that one was definitely my first and probably my most recognizable actually because I just loved the base image so much that I didn't really want to like do too much with it because it was just perfect.
Yeah. When you talk about rings, I feel like that's another really through line in a lot of your work, and the detail in the rings is always fantastic. Can you talk to me a little bit more about that fascination and kind of the meaning?
Yeah, so like obviously the championship rings are the culmination of an entire season's worth of hard work and the like highest barometer of success that you can achieve. And It's interesting because like when I was a kid, I thought that like everyone got to like take home the championship trophy, like the exact one, and then they just like made another one for the next year. But like you always have to give it back, and that's really explored in the show that we're doing tonight, that's opening tonight, called Temporary Glory. It's about how everything is temporary, and success can be um, taken away as soon as it is achieved, and you always have to give the trophy back when the new season starts. Yeah, but the rings are actual like personal thing that you get to keep. The constant reminder, and wearing it on your finger is incredibly personal. So um, yeah, it's a really really cool thing.
Oh my gosh, I got goosebumps when you were talking through the idea of temporary glory. I think that that's something that I've been really exploring just personally lately when you're trying to achieve these goals. But what happens once you get there? You're still always in the pursuit of something. And I know, especially for athletes, that can be so defining in a lot of different ways. Is it possible? Can we go do a walkthrough while we're talking about it right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So
Okay, fabulous.
can start over here because this is kind of like the piece that we used for promo.
Hmm.
So this one is Playboy Cardi, who people may recognize, and he is like seen as this like godlike icon, crowd surfing, and then you can see all the phones, capturing the moment, and it's really encompasses temporary glory a lot because they're capturing the moment, and that moment's never going to happen again, and it's only going to be seen as their representation, which is nowadays it's a pretty good representation because cameras and everything are so good nowadays, but it's never going to be what it was actually like in real life. So I'd say that's definitely the number one, like really encapsulates the entire show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
No, this is a beautiful piece. The detail in that one is insane.
yeah, thank you. It's my first time painting phones, and
Oh my
like
gosh.
getting like the details in there and stuff. It was a lot of fun. Definitely
Yeah.
want to do more of those.
I love that. I think even that plays so well into your style with like the idea of multiplicity and like understanding from different angles. Like, what more perfect physical representation of that than, like you're saying, people on their phones and showing what their experience was in that very moment.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Then we have this piece, which is titled XO. It shows the artist Tupor, who is kind of was really big in like the late 2000, the late 2010s, and famously dated Lil Peep, who was a really big inspiration of mine. So just kind of honestly, there's not really like a lot of meaning to this one, which I don't think that there has to be like personal meaning to every one of them. It's just like a cool image.
Yeah,
Then there's
absolutely.
this one, um, and this one she's reading The Great Gatsby in a diner, all alones. And then there's the Labubu, of course.
Yes.
And Game 7 of the 2016 NBA Finals is right up there on the TV. So sorry, my camera work is really bad.
No, you're fine. If need be too, I can always pull out your audio from this and I can have you send me like if you want to take some on your phone of these because I think they're beautiful images and I want to make sure we do them justice when people like
Yeah,
view the video.
cool, awesome.
This one I
Yes,
want to just like keep looking at. I feel like this is one of those where the longer you look, the more things like jump out at you.
yeah, yeah. It was a blast to paint. It's actually the first one that I did for this show. And I
Okay.
had this image like in my mind, like so I save images like off Instagram and Pinterest. I've actually been really big on Pinterest lately,
Hmm.
and Google Images and fashion magazines and everything. and I save them, and then some of them I sit on for years, and always been interested in this image, and it kind of just came up, um, when it wanted to, which
Yeah,
was for this show.
I love it. Yeah, her
Yeah,
hair
thank
is
you.
fantastic too.
Yeah, yeah, the blue is really beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Then this one, which is a companion piece to the first painting,
Mm-hmm.
and it depicts this woman who is longing for her companion who is out at the concert, like making money and doing his thing. And they both have the same shoulder pads, and she's kind of like waiting for him to come back. But because she has the shoulder pads on, she's ready to go in and almost rescue him if she needs to. And
Her
there's the
shoes.
little Joan of Arc tattoo, kind
Oh,
of representing that. So, yeah, this is there's a lot of firsts with this show, I think. This is my first time doing like, at least professionally, because I did like one in college. It's my first time doing like a real like true companion piece. So it was really cool to be able to have these two pieces in direct dialogue with each other rather than kind of indirect dialogue, which is, how they interact within like a space and a show.
yeah, absolutely. Will you show me her shoes real quick? Will you just zoom in on those?
Yes, of
I'm
course.
obsessed with these shoes.
Let's see.
So good. Oh my gosh.
Thank
And
you.
even just like the sheen of everything, like you get that feeling of kind of like the metallic-y fabric almost and matching with the
Yeah.
shoes.
Yeah, and you can see like the different color and everything, like there's reds and oranges. And that's
Yes.
something that I learned, just from a lot of practice, because when I was younger, I was like, oh, I would be like, oh, that dress is gray, so why would I put any other color in it? But adding those extra colors, the reflected light, that's what really makes it look more realistic.
Yeah. Is color theory something that you've spent a lot of time on that didn't maybe come as naturally to you?
Yes, absolutely. I still definitely take shortcuts.
Hmm.
Like, you know, people who are like really big into color theory, they say like never like darken a color with black. You're supposed to
Mm,
use like brown and like a dark blue because it really deepens it. But sometimes, I'm painting and I'm in the zone and I'm like, I just want to do this because, color mixing isn't really all that fun, but actually
yeah.
doing the painting is the fun part. So yeah.
Yeah. Amazing.
Then we have these three. Each
Wow.
each section of the show is kind of like separated into um, like paintings that are in like direct dialogue with each other that are of a certain motif. So, for example, like this wall is all like darker backgrounded pieces. And then this one right here is more like the royal aspect of temporary glory. So this
Yeah.
piece right here, this was kind of like my first representation, and I think it's definitely overdue. It's kind of like my first representation of professional female basketball. So there's this strong woman, and there's Moolah Kicks, which is a WNBA like sneaker brand.
Cool.
And, I like the idea of just powerful figures, and she's just really powerful. And this is another image that I've sat on for probably like 2 years now, just,
Wow.
waiting for the right opportunity to show it and, the right series.
Colors and that are so good. It's like it feels frosted but still vibrant and like Victorian but still modern. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, there's a lot of like glazes with the pink, especially.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like right here, you can see that it's I don't know if you can see it.
Kind of like
Yeah,
the
like
shadowing.
right here is kind of like a dark, like like a muted like violet, and then like you have like really high saturation pink right here, and then it creates that real dynamic sense of color. You know, again,
Yeah.
just playing with color theory. This one is definitely one of my favorites. So
Yes.
it depicts this, once again, this powerful woman and then her companion. And it's kind of like showing the last hurrah of a relationship in a way, because he's, you know, holding her up as like, this is my queen. And the fresco that's in the background represents, or rather depicts, Michael Jordan's last shot in the 1998 NBA Finals. It's his final shot as a Chicago Bull, and it was the game winner to win his sixth championship. Um, Kind of really reinforces the like relationship aspect of, you know, this is like there's a certain finality to it.
Yeah. This
Yeah,
one, oh my gosh. The again, just all the detailing and all the clothes is so wild.
thank you.
And the use of light, like it feels very obviously this one's like a little bit more literal when it comes to like I would feel like Renaissance style like influence, but the intense lighting too, it gives almost, I mean, when I think of like dark, I think of like Rembrandt and like, you know what I mean? And it's like that
Yeah,
kind of feeling.
yeah. And when I was lucky enough to take a trip to Paris over this summer, and I was in the Louvre, you know, the you see these big paintings that are like so realistic and amazing when you're far away, and then you get up close and these details, like they're just like simple brush strokes that really end up making, you know, when you step back, it looks perfectly realistic. So yeah, just
Yeah.
trying to, this one especially, you know, with the details and everything, trying to simplify
Oh
it
my
a little bit.
gosh. Yeah. Are they like gems or are they little like water droplets? What's the,
They are gems, yeah.
yeah, that's like one of those like you were just talking about, the closer you get where it's like you don't really take that in from far away. That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
thank you. Right. This one, it's not a show in New York unless you have a New York piece.
Yes.
So here's my representation of the Knicks, their last NBA championship that they won. I think it was in the 70s. I don't remember like what exact year, but yeah. So we have the championship ring. Again, you know, we talked about that. The trophy. I haven't painted a trophy in a while, so that was nice reconnecting with like that old motif. Then
Yeah.
the WWE belt. I'm a big wrestling fan. I used to when I was a kid, I was a huge fan, and then I kind of like grew like apart from it, and just in the past few years, I've really reconnected. So, you know, the championship belt, it's just another way of representing success. It doesn't always have to be basketball related. It can be, you know, another sport.
Yeah. No, I love that. I think that I don't know about you, but like Macho Man Randy Savage gets talked about a lot in this household. Okay. The catchphrase is
Nice.
unmatched, but like the pageantry, the outfits, like everything. So I got to imagine, from a inspiration for painting perspective, there's so much in wrestling that you can draw
Yeah,
from for that.
there really is. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. I love it. Okay. And so where can is there more paintings?
Yeah, there's four more and a
Stop
basketball.
it.
Yeah.
And the basketball. This is
Yeah.
such a large collection of work. How long does it take you to put together a show like this?
This started in, let's see, October. I think like mid-October.
Oh my gosh. But that's like that's pretty fast because how many paintings are there? 12?
11.
11 and a basketball.
Yeah. Yeah, and a basketball. Yeah. I'm so excited for the basketball. It's like the coolest thing I've ever done.
Okay, this is giving me like Meg the Stallion vibes.
Yeah. It's Sue Sai, who is a fellow artist. Um,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we did a collaboration of her, two self-portraits of her with a couple of her products. So she did like a couple really fun photo shoots with her products. These are the Flower Bomb plushies that she makes. And
Oh,
yeah, the red in this one is really, really exciting for me because red it gets a little bit, it's a little tough to get correct because
yeah.
yeah, it's a little bit too transparent, and you can't bump it down with white to make it more opaque because then you lose the saturation. So
Well, that's another. So when I think about the Renaissance era paintings, I think of the reds and the blues. And I think that
yeah,
that's something, and then the usage of light. And again, like this vibrant red very much leans into that. So I feel like you can tell that you went and you just spent a ton of time in Europe. That I feel like is definitely coming through in the best way possible.
yeah. Then we got this one.
Oh, this
I
is
like to
fun.
have in each show, I like to have kind of like a reprieve from like incredible like real like almost bombastic aesthetics that are really in your face. This one a lot of it's gray. It's very relaxed. It's kind of like a lazy Sunday type deal.
Yeah. But the bear and the bricks, it just feels, I like how this one is layered. It feels like the people are almost not quite as realistic in a good way, and then it feels like it really pops against a very realistic background.
Yeah, yeah,
And all
and
the
it
little
it
Murakami
matches
push.
the break in the gallery very well.
Hmm. Love it. They could be in the gallery. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. This is the second portrait of Sue, and this one depicts
Oh,
her with her basketball. She's New York based, so we did the Patrick Ewing jersey.
yes. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
that
And the
one
background
was
on
really
this
fun.
one.
Yep, yeah, this is another really good representation of like um the real like kind of painterly detail
Yes.
because there's a lot of impasto in the background, and then now they look like streamers.
Yeah. No, that's beautiful. Even again, you are so good when it comes to hair. I feel like that's what keeps standing out to me in all of these
Thank you.
is all the different styles because everybody has very elaborate hairstyles. I mean, the blonde woman like staring, looking for her partner, like her updo was insane, and you got all the dimension in there that you like really see in blondes. But then at the same time, with her name is Sue,
Sue, yeah.
yeah, you still get the dimension, but it's very different in dark hair.
hmm Yeah, absolutely. It's a lot more difficult with dark hair because you don't want to make it too shiny, so you can't add like super white highlights. You have to
Yeah.
get that dimension and really get those deep blacks, which can be tough because you gotta, really pile it on to make sure that that black is as dark as you can get it.
Yeah. All right. I love this one. This one maybe is like a contender for favorite. That one's standing out to me. It's top three for sure out of this
Yeah, that
show.
one's a lot of fun. This is the last one, and then we'll move on to the basketball.
Oh, I like this one though too.
Yeah, this is probably the most elaborate one.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot going on each individually with their outfits. This one looks like just like a fashion photo shoot. Like this was somebody's campaign.
Yeah, it was. I forgot who it was. I think it might be Pleasures, but I'm not 100%
Mm,
sure. But it's
mm-hmm.
very, very Mean Girls inspired.
Yes.
Yeah, and then, we have the championship belt, then the Jeff Hamilton championship jacket,
Hmm.
montage with just a kind of like a regular denim jacket, Shaquille O'Neal jersey, then just some nice flowers to kind of round it out.
Yes. Is that Karen on the end? She's giving me the Karen vibes from Mean Girls.
A little bit, yeah.
I think so. Well, because, okay, yes, no, I love all of this. I feel like she's about to tell us the weather, that she just looks like so in character for that.
Then the basketball.
Oh my gosh. When
Yeah,
it
so this one
incorporates
was,
portions of a lot of these.
yeah, so it has all four members of the let me grab it actually.
Okay, cool.
Let's,
Yeah.
and then I'll set you down back over here.
Okay, fab.
All right. Hello again.
Hello, we're back.
Yes. All right. So here's the basketball, inspired by
Oh my gosh.
Spalding, of course. I think that if I end up, getting a little bit bigger with my career, they're probably gonna send a cease and desist. But for right now, it's a lot of fun.
That's how you'll know
Yeah.
you've made it.
Yeah. It's an edition of eight.
Okay.
One basketball for each panel. We have all four members of the painting that I just showed, and then we have four other portraits.
Did you hand paint on these, or are these like produced like
No,
from
this is
the?
produced.
Okay.
Yeah, produced from a factory,
Okay.
and it was my first time like working. That's the way it goes. It was my first time working with like a factory. Like I've done like t-shirts and everything, but never anything overseas. And they just did such a fantastic job. Like this is really kind of like my favorite thing I've ever done because it's just like almost like a dream come true type deal, just like I love basketball and now I made my own basketball.
No, I'm obsessed with this. It looks so good. It almost like gives me, this is like a weird reference and not like in the style, but it doesn't look like it looks like the little Fushigi balls. Like it almost is like defying our current, world. It's super, super detailed and just looks like unreal.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I love
Very,
that. You
very
have to
fun.
keep one of those for yourself. I hope that
But yeah,
that's okay.
yep.
So really there's seven of them if people would like to purchase one. There's seven available for sale.
So yeah,
Okay,
that is the show. That is Temporary Glory.
and tell us now before we move on, because I have a billion questions based off of this, but you're in Brooklyn right now, so if people want to come out and see the show, run me through the logistics.
Yep. So it is with Zepster Gallery. It obviously opens tonight and it's up until April 26th. It is appointment only, so just hit up myself or the gallery and we'll make sure that you guys get an appointment, whoever wants to come and check it out.
Fantastic. Okay, good. Um, let's talk about your obsession with basketball. I walk me through
Okay.
like where did this start? How did this start? I need to know.
So it started just as a kid, you know. It was always my sport. I was never really good at like like football or like soccer or anything. Like basketball kind of just clicked. I wasn't particularly good at it either, but that's why I'm a painter now instead of the guy who said that he could have gone pro,
Yeah.
except he tore his ACL. Um, so yeah, basketball just kind of has everything. It has the drama and it's got the fast-paced, you know, entertainment aspect, and the NBA is just filled with so much drama. I love following anything about LeBron's teams because they're just so excessively dramatic. And yeah, I think that the league is as exciting as it's ever been, especially because there's just like so many teams that are really competitive nowadays, and there's so many new stars who are um, establishing themselves. It's really, really cool, and the league is in very good hands. So that's awesome. And also growing up in the Metro Detroit area, we had the really, really good Pistons who won the 2004 championship. So um, growing up and seeing that success was really, really.
Okay, so as a fellow Michigander, we also lived through like the wildest era of the Pistons, I would say. I mean, you go back, we had like the whole like Detroit Bad Boys, whatever. We got the Malice at the Palace though, okay? Like that was a wild time. I mean, we had such a stacked team. It was like who? Like Rip Hamilton, um, Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, who am I forgetting? Who just got popped
Chauncey
for the
Billups.
Chauncey
Yeah,
Billups? We love
who
him.
just got popped for? Yeah,
Listen,
Chauncey
let that
Billups and
man live. It was like only $2 million. Let him take that. Way more insider trading going on. Okay.
yeah,
Uh, but that was such a cool era. And now we don't even have the Palace anymore. Where do they play now?
yeah, yeah. They
Little
play at
Caesars?
Little Caesars Arena, which it's awesome that it's in downtown Detroit now. But the Palace just had like this really great energy.
Yes. Yes. It was fantastic. Okay, and last, I'll leave this bubble talk. But I heard that they're getting possibly two new teams, Seattle and Las Vegas. Hot
Yeah, I
takes on
heard
that
that.
real quick.
I think it's exciting. Yeah, the expansion draft is going to be really interesting to see because I think at least now I believe that the rules are like each team can like protect 8 players, and then like 9 through 15 of each team are up for grabs. So that's going to be really interesting, especially with Seattle. There's small rumblings about like Kevin Durant ending his career there, Russell Westbrook and James Harden possibly coming back. So it's very exciting. And obviously Las Vegas is a very exciting um, area for sports nowadays, especially with the UFC there, and the Sphere is really cool. Like every time they put on any sort of event at the Sphere, it's like wow. Like I definitely have to go there sometime.
I haven't been into the Sphere. I just have a feeling that it would make me really motion sick. I don't know. Jury's still out. I'm not saying I'll never go. I'm concerned. But from the outside, it's so cool to look at.
Yeah, yeah, it's wild.
Yes. Okay. We got the basketball out of here. That's good. I needed to know where that started. Talk to me a little bit more about how you got into painting, though. So you grew up playing basketball. At what point did you start understanding that you had an interest in art and specifically painting?
Yeah, so I've always been interested in art. My mom was definitely my biggest fan, and still is. She always supported me. We had like a wall in my childhood home of like all my drawings and everything. So yeah, I started out just like kind of basic like crayon drawings when I was a kid, and then I moved to tracing, like just using tracing paper and any sort of magazine I could find with a cool image, just drawing and getting those line drawings down. After that, I went into manga and like anime and like that kind of style. And then after that, it was portraits and tattoo designs. Because when I was growing up, that was, I was like 10 to 13 when the height of like Miami Ink and like LA Ink before those reality shows before Ink Master came about. So I wanted to be a tattoo artist for the longest time. It's such a really cool art form. And then after that, I started doing painting when I was 13 or 14. I was in my first show at 15. It was nothing like super fancy. It was like a high school like juried competition at Wayne State University. So that kind of gave me the like confidence and the that positive reinforcement from people outside of my bubble, like my friends and family and teachers and everything. And then it just it just snowballed from there. I went to college, and really focused on painting, and also like Photoshop and like photography, photo manipulation, and everything. And yeah, pretty much since I've been 15, it's been all painting.
I love that. I think that a lot of people honestly sleep on the art scene in Detroit a little bit. I think that there's
They do.
so many cool, I mean, we've got Cranbrook, we've got CCS, like obviously there's a ton of other like I know Wayne State is very in the mix with things, but even like Lawrence Tech or there's so many really good art schools. And then I think that how people are valuing art there and the fact that, like StockX is there and like all these other just random little things that really pull it together. Do you think that environment had a lot to do with it?
I think I think a little bit. I think more so like my personal environment and having everyone around me being so supportive was
Yeah.
the main thing. I do think that when I went to college, I went to U of M in Ann Arbor, so it was a little bit separated from the Detroit scene, but I knew a lot of people in Detroit. Who were doing really exciting things. And I think growing up and like being around that really did help influence it, my aesthetic, and keep me going because, like you said, the Detroit scene really is very slept on, and I think it started like probably like 15 years ago or so, if my memory serves me correctly, where it just like really started getting very exciting, and the community there is incredibly supportive with all creatives.
Yeah. Ann Arbor is really cool though too. I feel like definitely like more hipster, I would say, than Detroit, but like in a good way. Like it's everybody's making something, it feels like, which is really cool.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, what part of working as a creative professional do you struggle with the most?
I definitely struggle the most with marketing, and like the social aspect. I'm not like a social butterfly. Like I'm able to like do it, but not constantly. Like for the
Yeah,
for the opening tonight, it's like 3 hours, so I'm like, all right, it's go time. I can do it.
yeah,
But like marketing and like creating like reels like every day and doing that whole stuff. I don't know that I could be a TikTok star, but I also don't think that you need to be, as long as you're honest with your image that you're putting out into the world. I think that's the most important thing. Um, so yeah, definitely the social aspect is the thing that I struggle with the most. I have like a little bit of social anxiety. I feel like that's kind of like a popular thing to have at the moment, but um, I think that's a very real thing. But you know, I'm able to turn it on when it's game time. So yeah, it's all right.
yeah. I get that. I think it's very like draining having to be around people too. Not in like a bad way. It's just it takes a lot out of you having to like go be on even for like 3 hours straight. That's a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I'm very excited for like my iPad in bedtime tonight. Yeah. I've heard that it's
Yes.
like really like not that great of a movie, but I'm gonna watch Hurry Up tomorrow by the weekend. So I'm
Uh,
excited for that. Yeah. On the flight over here, um I flew Spirit and I didn't want to pay for their Wi-Fi, so I downloaded the album, and I just like, that was like the first time in so long that I just kind of like focused on music because I'm always listening to music when I'm in the studio and everything, but it's just constant multitasking. And yeah, it was a great experience. It's a really great album. So
really
I'm excited. Yeah.
good. I will say I do cherish my flight time because I do feel like I can like really like unplug. Not to say that I always am like good about it, because a lot of the times now, especially if I can, I'll get on Wi-Fi and I'll just continue working on my laptop through flights. but I think it is special to kind of just be very present.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like the most present I've been in a long time because I'm always working on something, like doing writing for shows or doing marketing for shows or doing my digital work and then doing my paintings and everything. It's a full-time job with a million different hats that we wear as artists.
Yeah, absolutely. So, okay, let's talk about that a little bit more. Do you do like everything turnkey right now? Do you have anybody on your team, or is it just you representing yourself, getting everything booked, throwing up all the socials?
So I manage all of my social media. I do have an agent
Okay.
through Quattro Arts. He's been absolutely amazing. It's funny, we have like a really good dynamic, and it's pretty funny because um, like I said, I'm not good at marketing and like being social and stuff, and I really credit him with kind of like starting my career. And whenever I say that to him, he's like, "No, no, it was all you. Like you're doing the work in the studio." So um, yeah, that's really nice, and he's been incredible getting me some of my first opportunities with everything, and that's he's been invaluable, and he's a very good friend now rather than just a business partner. So that's really cool. But yeah, like day-to-day operations, like marketing and obviously all the creative stuff. Um, moving into products like t-shirts and basketballs and everything, that's all me. And then, I do obviously collaborate with the gallery, and then they do their thing, which is incredibly valuable to all of us in the art world. So yeah, and you hear about like galleries closing all the time, and it's really sad, kind of, because the market is it's like survival of the fittest right now. But it's really the work that they do is still absolutely invaluable to everyone and to culture at large. So I'm very, very thankful for everyone that I work with.
Oh, I love that. I love the idea too of like that relationship morphing into more like a friendship as well. I think that for me, I do take business so personal, and I really prefer to work with people that I like on a human level as well. Obviously, like that's not always the case, but knock on wood, especially lately when I've gotten to more pick and choose as far as clients, it's very important to me to be around people that I do like because we spend so much of our time working. Why would you not want to be around people that you really enjoy spending time with?
Absolutely. Yeah, I completely agree.
Oh, okay. What piece or product that you've made so far are you most proud of?
It's absolutely the basketball. Let me just show
That's
you
still
guys
gonna win?
again.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
still gonna win.
it's so good. It's so good. Okay,
Yeah, that
and these
was
are
that was really
all
nice.
for sale right now, right? So if I wanted to come buy a piece from you from the show, do I have to come do it in person? Are they online? What does that look like?
So all these pieces you would just inquire with the gallery. It's Zepster Gallery,
Okay.
or you can also inquire with myself. A couple of them have already been sold. So if you want to get in on the action, obviously if you got the time to do it quick, then that's definitely going to be beneficial if you want to snag one of these paintings.
Okay. Who do you look for, or who do you look to for inspiration, or what inspires you? I know we talked through a little bit about like Pinterest and stuff, but are there any people or artists or anybody in specific?
So I definitely look to artists. Like I say this in like pretty much every interview I do. Emilio Villalba is, in my opinion, like the best portrait artist working today. He started out doing like these kind of like really deconstructed paintings on dark backgrounds, and they had like multiple eyes and everything. And he was a big inspiration for me when I first started, because back then I was just starting college, so he was a big inspiration for me back then, and now he's just morphed his work and constantly is deconstructing the portrait, and now like he does these like super colorful ones, and like for like the cheek or something, he'll just do like three lines, and then that's like his representation of the person's cheek, and it's crazy the way that he's able to deconstruct the portrait. It's absolutely insane. And then like even more so than artists though, things in pop culture really inspire me. Obviously, basketball and wrestling. Music is probably number one. I'm always listening to music in the studio. And then, obviously some of the people that I depict, they're musicians. Like we talked about Billie Eilish, and we have Playboy Cardi right to my left. So it's they're definitely my biggest inspirations, and I kind of have always like drawn parallels between an artist's career, like a fine artist, and also like a musician. I kind of view like my group shows as singles, and then like my solo shows as albums. The group shows, they really inform the direction that I'm going to go in for the solo shows. And then fashion shoots and Pinterest, all that stuff. Those are very big. Movies and TV, pretty much anything that is in the world of pop culture that is very exciting and can capture the moment that we live in. Because you know people say that why are you painting a portrait that's like realistic when you can just take a photograph, and I think that they both have their own merits, and all that we're doing is trying to capture the moment and create these artifacts that are going to live on forever and really show that moment in time how culture was and how we were all living.
Yeah, no, I think that's so important. And I feel like for me, paintings are almost more important now than ever because I feel like everything digital is fleeting. I mean, the whole internet, everything computers could get wiped out tomorrow. I don't think that's going to happen, but it's just there's something so beautiful about something tangible. And then also the idea that you're seeing it through the artist's eye. And not that you can't do that with photos as well, but it's different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Um, what's on the playlist right now? What are we listening to when we're painting?
Yeah, definitely a lot of the weekend. Um,
Oh yeah.
and Future has been big. Sabrina Carpenter has been big for me since over the summer. I've been really getting into pop recently. Let's see. Recently played is Lana Del Rey, Baby
Oh,
Keem.
yes. The new Baby Keem is so
Yeah,
good. I don't think
it's
people are talking
really
enough
good.
about that either.
Yeah, I know. Like, people are talking about like the state of rap music right now and how it's really kind of on the decline. Not necessarily in like cultural impact, but like in popularity and like album sales and everything. But albums like Casino, they really show that the future is in good hands.
I think so. Um, one more is just this jumped out at me like while you were speaking too. I love the fact that uh how you look at music and painting. I think for me, painters are so synonymous with musicians. I feel like if for me, I think about like Kanye and Tyler the Creator, and it's like if I listen to them, even if it's produced by them, it's like looking at a painting. They have such a distinct style. So I love that parallel. Like if I look at one of your paintings, 100% I know that Jonathan Downing did that. So I think that that's really a fun place to draw inspiration from.
Yeah, and I think that's the most important thing with being a fine artist, especially, and also an artist in general, is find your aesthetic and find your brand, because that's how people are going to recognize you. There's a lot of interesting things that I would like to play with, and I do play with them in my free time. But everything has to fit inside of the larger brand. And
Yeah.
it's fun to also have that little tiny bit of constraint as well. Making sure that everything still fits and how you can keep everything fresh as well.
Yeah. I think that I do a lot better when I have some kind of guidelines. I think that I really struggle when it's just totally free form. And, to your point, not that it's bad to practice that. I always, I think something I'm a really big proponent of is practicing creativity because I think, especially when you work as a creative professional, it's very important to do things that are creative outside of work because I think otherwise you get tied to it in a way that's just not as healthy. And I think it really helps you overall as an artist to, do these different things. But I would totally agree with that statement that having some kind of constraint on it really helps you produce better work.
Yeah, and that's definitely why, at least for my process, finding like reference photos really helps me so much because I can have like an idea, but I usually just like need that little bit of a push from finding something that really resonates with me. And then, I can take it from there. But I like having that little bit of a push and like a starting point and, that little bit of constraint.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we have reached the point in the show where I get to ask you the question that I ask every single person that comes on here. What is the wildest story that you can tell me on this podcast?
So definitely the wildest one that I can tell you
Yes.
is, I mentioned that I went to Paris over this past summer, and I had planned. It was when I was in Berlin doing a residency with Better Go South, and I had finished like all my work, and I was going there like as a reward for myself. The WWE did a show called Clash in Paris. It was the first time that they had had like a really big show in Paris, and it was like really like a big deal. And I was like, wow, like I'm like an hour and a half plane ride away. Like let's do this. So yeah, I had planned to do like 72 hours. Just like I said, as a reward. But my first flight was canceled due to
Oh,
rain, so I had to reschedule. But that was okay. And then I had to do a connecting flight on the rescheduled flight to Vienna, and it was delayed a little bit. So I had to run to the gate in Vienna, and then I got on the flight, which was really good. I was so happy. I got to Paris and I raced to the hotel. Then I raced over to the Eiffel Tower because, it's time to do all the fun touristy stuff. You always
yes.
have to go to the Eiffel Tower. That's number one. I made it right on time for the little tour and like the ticket to go all the way up to the top. It
Oh,
was really beautiful. It was incredible because it was at night and it had like all the lights and everything. And I
my
think it's like for the
gosh.
first 5 minutes of like each hour they do like these like really big flashing lights, and it was just so incredible to see something like that. Then at this point, I hadn't eaten all day, so I walked around for probably a little bit more longer than I should have. Took like 20 minutes because Paris is just so confusing to
Yeah.
walk around, especially coming from Michigan, which is just like so straightforward and
I was
easy.
gonna say we're on a grid.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I found a burger place, which I don't know if it was the circumstance or the fact that I hadn't eaten all day, but it was the best hamburger I've ever had. It was just absolutely incredible. So the next day, Saturday, I wake up and I try walking to the mall where they've got like this big like WWE like pop-up store, and it's like a 10-minute walk. It says on Google Maps, and I end up getting lost,
Oh
of
no.
course. So it took probably like 30 minutes, but that was okay until I saw the line, which was like a quarter mile long.
Oh no.
But it was so worth it because like the shop was just like so cool. It was like one of the coolest things I had ever seen. Got merch, got a T-shirt to wear during the show, and then I went to Versailles after that, and speed ran the castle and the gardens.
I, I've never heard
Yeah,
of a speed visit to Versailles. That sounds like a lot. You got your steps in on this trip. I love this for
yeah, I
you.
did. I definitely did. Then I came back, got showered and got dressed for the show, and then went to the show. Absolutely incredible. They said that it was like the loudest crowd all year, and everyone's chanting stuff in French, and I have no idea what they're saying, but like just the energy is just absolutely amazing. It's probably the coolest show that I've ever been to, and my inner child was screaming. It was so much fun. Um, yeah, so then the next day was a lot more tame. It was the Louvre, which was amazing. The third floor, I think it has British art, but it's like
Okay.
it's all realism. Everyone's on the floor with like all the Italian stuff, like Caravaggio and Da Vinci and everything, which I definitely saw. Like Mona Lisa was my first stop, but the third floor is really really awesome because it's so relaxed. Like there's no one there, and you can really get right up on the paintings. So that was very cool. Yeah, and then I flew home after that, and flew to my second home actually in Berlin, and then finished out the residency. Had the opening and everything. Did some fun touristy stuff. Went to the Berlin Zoo and saw the pandas, and
Oh,
yeah, they were absolutely adorable. Like what a life, just eating and
yes.
sleeping all day. Yeah. So definitely the busiest weekend I've ever had, but also one of the most exciting. It was a really great experience.
I love that for you. I love a good solo trip. I get so much done. I'm so efficient when I'm just by myself. I love my friends, I love my family, but like if I'm on a mission, like it's just go time and there's no lollygagging. So I think that's so fun for you. Did you wear your WWE shirt to Versailles?
I did not.
Mm,
I wore just like
that
kind
was a
of a
missed
basic shirt.
opportunity.
It really was, yeah. But I did wear one of my Paris shirts to a Detroit wrestling show, and I felt so cool. Like everyone had like their like basic like merch, and I'm like, oh, I went to Paris.
And fancy. This is
Yeah,
limited
exactly.
edition. You had to be there. I waited in a half-mile long line. Oh my God, so fun. Well, Jonathan, I want to give you a quick opportunity to plug yourself. Where can people find you on socials, your website, whatever we need to know, where we can go find you and buy all your wonderful paintings and very limited edition basketballs?
Yes, absolutely. So you can go to Zepster Gallery, Zepster, and
Hmm.
I actually have a business card right here. I don't know, maybe people can scan this, and
Scan the
it'll
QR code now, folks.
yeah, it'll take you directly to my Instagram. So my Instagram's at Jonathan Downing, JonathonDowning, and you'll see all of my work. Uh, yeah, and you'll see a bunch of stuff about Temporary Glory because that's the new and exciting show. Very, very proud of this work.
Yay, as you should be. Well, fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your time, Jonathan. This was wonderful.
Yeah, thank you so much. This was a lot of fun.
All right, guys, I will see you next time.